are oppressed, which we do need. When you're a progressive party, you want to keep pushing for more progress and more inclusivity. They're at a point right now where they don't know where the line is in terms of what they say. So when you talk to them, they're kind of like very unrelatable to hang out with. Whereas Republicans.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Andrew Shultz hit it on the head here. Like, it's good to have progression. It's good that we're, some things in this country have worked perfectly and worked great. And, it's great. But, there's a line where you cross where we got women, in men's bathrooms, or women in, or men in women's sports, men in women's bathrooms. There's a line we cross. And obviously, Democrats, unfortunately, they cross that line. And once you pass that line, the problem is there's no going back. And it's just, and it's the reason they lost the election, truthfully.
Our conservative values. It's like, let's back it up. Shit used to be better. Make America great again. We're going to go back, right? So they don't have to worry about offending this, I'm going to put it in quotes, extreme progress, right? And the problem.
Extreme progressives, exactly.
Problem with Democrats right now is they can't have a convo and make jokes about pronouns because they're like, fuck, that group's going to be upset. They can't.
Exactly, because if they make a joke about pronouns, now it's like, now their own people are fighting each other. Now they're like this, and they have no chance of winning anyways like this. So it's a recipe for disaster.
Have a convo and make a gay joke because like, fuck, that group's going to be upset. They can't have a convo about migrants or something like that because they're like, fuck, that's going to be upset. They can't have convos about anything. So they're kind of standing there neutered. They can be eloquent. They can be brilliant. They can be smart like a Buttigieg, but
they can. And unfortunately, they didn't have a candidate that was eloquent or smart. But, they can. Like Barack Obama was very eloquent.
They can't be relatable. They can't like when the Indian guy was asking Trump the question at the press conference and he had the strong Indian accent and Trump just went, I don't understand a word this motherfucker's saying. That is relatable to every American, regardless of which side you're on. And a Democrat would never say that. They'd be like, sir, would you mind?
They'd coddle him because that's what Democrats do. coddle, excuses.
If you could word that again in a way.
Schultz, you're absolutely right. But name me one Republican who can do that other than Trump.
Oh, there's some crazy Republicans out there.
Name them.
Nancy Mace does not give a fuck.
Well, that's just come on. But Nancy's not running for president.
But there is 100 of those types of Republicans.
You can't name them. Now, Nancy, I'll give you.
The Gomez chick who just straight up.
I don't even know who that is. Who is the Gomez chick?
What is Charlamagne even saying?
Boebert is another one.
Nah.
No, I'm not telling you they're going to be president. What I'm telling you is they're wild and they'll say wild shit. And the reality is most Americans in the privacy of their home or around.
Yeah, people hate Trump because he has no filter. And I truthfully, I agree. Sometimes it goes too far. Sometimes he shouldn't say the things he says. But at the end of the day, we have a president that's real. When he speaks, it's real. Like when you hear Joe Biden talk in the past, it just feels so fake. And Kamala Harris, I mean, she can't even read without a prompt right here in her face, like all the time. Just
and their friends, we're pretty wild. We like hot takes. We like talking that shit. It's the reason we like a guy like Stephen A. Smith because he talks that shit. He's not constantly biting his tongue.
But Stephen, not Trump. Like Stephen,
no.
Stephen's not even going to be.
You don't got to be Trump. You could be John Stewart, but you're not biting your tongue every 2 seconds.
Oh, now we talking.
Oh, I would love John Stewart.
Now you talk.
But also,
now we talking.
But also, John is not biting his tongue. When Tony Hinchcliffe got in trouble at the DNC, at the RNC or whatever in New York, not even RNC, at the New York, at the MSG shit, he was the first one to be like, "Yo, he's a roast comedian. He makes roast jokes."
I love Stephen A. But he ain't John Stewart.
No, I know. No, but no Democrat politician. I'm not talking about Democrats like people. I'm saying Democrat politician has the balls to go up there and just be normal because they're so terrified that they're going to ostracise some of their groups. They're in a very difficult position right now.
I really.
And, like I said, I agree with everything he's saying. Like, you go on one end where you criticize something, you make a joke about something because, obviously you're a Democrat. You can't make jokes about anything. You're a Democrat before people get sensitive and, stuff like that. And it's like, then you start going to that level, and then the other Democrats start to hate you, or the really woke progressives start to hate you, whatever. And then now it causes, inter-party problems. But then on the other hand, you could say, hey, once they start doing that, maybe more conservatives would, or more moderates would start leaning towards the left again. But obviously, they, like you said, it's a terrible position to be in. But they did it to themselves, truthfully. I mean, it should have never got this far.
I really, truly believe that shit is over. And if it's not, the Democrats will never win another election ever again.
Oh, no,
See, he's saying it's over, but I don't agree.
Over for the people, and that's one of the reasons why they voted for Trump. But it's not over for the party.
But no,
so
but-
if the
but
party don't make that adjustment.
No, yes, I do think that there are people in the party who know they have to make that adjustment. And
Yes, there might be people in the party, but the majority is not like that.
you're seeing it, right? Because nobody cares about the Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries is still operating from that old Democratic playbook.
I need a Democrat to be like, yo, furries are weird. What are we talking about? You dressing up as a chicken and going to a fuck party? What the hell is going on? Josh Shapiro got to be like, yo, furries.
Schultz is right, but here's the thing. There's people, there are ones that are saying that now, but it don't sound authentic because you're only saying that because of how the tide turned because you just lost the election.
I honestly believe it doesn't matter if it's authentic. Whatever Democrat comes out and starts talking that shit, they will win. Or here's the
And he might not be wrong. Like I said, if a Democrat comes out and goes that way, but then again, the more he does that, the more middle right he is. So it's like catch-22 really.
The other thing, and this is important to note, that this is what the Democrats are terrified to do. They could make it a class war and win. That's what Bernie did. Bernie made it a class war. He wasn't even worried about your fucking flags and trans this and gay that. He wasn't even tripping on it. He was just like, billionaires got too much money and too much influence. These corporations got too much money and influence. They're fucking over working class people, and I want to ride for working class people. Let me get it off.
Okay.
He came out, he said that. Me, you, Alex, Rogan, the whole world, at least it felt like so many Americans were like, yo, this dude is spitting. I like this guy. This guy's from fucking Maine or Vermont, some Jewish dude from Maine or where the fuck he's from. Yeah. I like this guy. I don't even care what his identity is. I like what he's saying. The Democrats are afraid to do that because they're in the pockets of these billion-dollar corporations. So since they won't talk about the class war, which is the only relatable thing they could talk about, they got to talk about these like tiny little microaggression shits that are so unrelatable to the average American.
To your point, you know who's smoking right now?
Who?
AOC. You don't gotta love her, but she's smoking right now because she's doing exactly that.
That's it. Now, say what you want about AOC. Say what you want about AOC. I'm sure there's plenty of people that are critical of her. She has always ridden for working class people.
Absolutely.
And it is believable. Okay, I'm sure you can look into her past and be like, oh, she spent one summer at a fancy or some goofy shit. But the reality is she's a girl who's worked in fucking bars and restaurants. She's very relatable, and she is fighting for working class people. That's relatable as hell. When she goes off on some like LGBTQ shit and makes that
she took the pronouns off her fucking social media,
and she got lambasted for it. But you got to take that.
They're not even having that conversation no more. By the way.
Stop.
Like, don't even entertain that conversation. Don't even go down that road.
If the Democrats want to win, they just ignore all the trans shit and they talk about the class struggle and working class people. But the reality is the majority of them won't do it. Why can AOC do it? Because I don't think she takes money from these corporations. So she can. The rest of them that don't do it, I don't know about Josh Shapiro. I don't know if he's spoken about. I don't know about Whitmer. I don't know if she's spoken about. I don't know about these other people you're talking about. But if I haven't heard them speak about it, there's a reason. And it's because they are getting big bucks from those corporations. And if they are and unable to call them out, they will not win. They cannot relate to Americans. It's simple as that.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. But
Americans need money for eggs, yo.
I agree with
everything. My wife is
you're
telling
saying.
Me there's no eggs. She's like, yo, the only thing our daughter eats in the morning, she has eggs. And she's like, yo, I was trying to get eggs. There was no more.
Yeah, I mean, he made some good points here. Truthfully, do I think Democrats honestly, if they just dropped the trans stuff before the election for the past 2 or 3 years? There's no saying. Trump would have lost, and Trump would have been, indicted by the whatever. Probably would have been in jail. You never know. But they lost because they keep leaning into this angle, and they go too far left. Too far left is always a bad thing, and I just don't see them. I don't see them backing off because it just looks like hypocrisy if they back off, truthfully. And Charlamagne knows that. He just trying to play to the camera. He knows. But again, these are both top 1% earners. And like you said, you know, if you bring up class, like Bernie Sanders was, that was a good way to get Democrats. It's always been a good way. But yeah, man, good points here though from Andrew and Charlamagne. You know, he definitely plays both sides, but you know, we'll see in the future. Like Stephen A. I think Stephen A. Smith eventually will come out as conservative. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you react to next.